Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
It's a story that spans the nation, from the Great Lakes to the Pacific Northwest. It's a legacy that traces through the heartland. It's a future for families and those who efficiently feed the world with delicious and nutritious dairy products. And none of it is possible without U.S. registered Holsteins, the world's perfect cow, and the people who raise them.
The U.S. registered Holstein is the most efficient in taking the least amount of feed and converting it into the most amount of high quality milk. She can do that better than any other bovine on earth.
The registered Holstein cow provides for so many people. Everybody loves cheese, everybody loves ice cream, everybody loves yogurt.
This is Holstein America. Hello and welcome. I'm Michelle Davidson. It's quite remarkable. Something as simple as a glass of milk is the direct result of countless hours spent caring for the cows, the land, and the environment. Today, the U.S. registered Holstein cow is the picture of efficiency, and she is key to the dairy industry's long-term success. Over the next hour, we will introduce families and individuals who take great pride in providing nature's perfect protein, milk. Sharing in this journey is Holstein Association USA, the world's largest dairy breed organization. Its programs, products, and services help create a stronger future for U.S. dairy. Our story begins in Oregon's Willamette Valley, where the Ruby family cares for the land, their registered Holsteins, and are proud members of Holstein Association USA.
Our journey started a long time ago. In fact, my great-grandfather was the first dairyman in the state of Oregon to bring registered Holsteins into the state in 1904.
My dad started this farm with a 4-H project when he was 9 years old. His mom said, you know what, if you really want to show a dairy animal, then we want to get you the best dairy animal out there, so we're going to buy you a purebred registered Holstein. And that's what started his love for dairy farming.
My husband, Ray, was committed to the farm at a young age. He loved his cows, and when we first got married, we were working very hard to establish everything that we have, and it progressed from all that hard work to what you see now. I lost my husband in 2010. And the children have continued the legacy of the farm.
Family farms are a special place because without them, you wouldn't have this environment. And you also wouldn't have dairy products that deliver 13 essential vitamins and nutrients.
Some people say it's in your blood. Certainly it's inherited, there's no doubt about it. With both of my grandparents being dairy farmers, I guess I'm homozygous cow lover. And that's a good thing, I think. And hopefully I've passed that on to my kids as well. It's a great place to raise a family and teach them good fundamentals like responsibility and work ethic and stewardship and taking care of animals.
I studied math at the University of Notre Dame, and I really find that I'm able to process data and use analytics to improve our dairy in many aspects. It's always a balance between dealing with individual cows and dealing with the herd as a whole. Every cow that we have on our farm is registered. Going through Holstein Association has been a really important tenet of our farm for a really long time. We really think that genetics is key in being able to milk more and have a more efficient dairy.
We're members of a really good cooperative in Tillamook, making Tillamook cheese and Tillamook ice cream, and we're really fortunate to have that connection. And We're also very happy with our affiliation with Safeway, where our milk literally goes from our farm and is in grocery stores in 36 hours every single day. We're members of Holstein Complete, so that gives us access to Holstein's classification program, which is a very important part of what we do. We're members of Holstein Association because we really believe in the quality of the data, and we believe that data drives everything. Data basically drives every decision on this farm. And if we don't have good data, then we can't make good decisions. And Holstein Association is a big part of that data for us.
We have an awesome responsibility to care for this land and the animals that it sustains. And so producing high quality milk from animals that are well cared for, and certainly beautiful cows, which registered Holsteins help us produce both from a longevity standpoint and from a production standpoint, is vital. We wouldn't be able to do what we do every day without that. Our tagline has always been, longevity is our goal. And the best way we have seen to do that is through purebred registered Holsteins. The right genetics build cows that will last longer.
We're really looking for a cow that can live an extra 2 or 3 lactations so that she can have a long, productive life and be able to do that in a healthy, productive way.
One of the big things that we do is we track health and we track reproduction. We know all their milk weights from every cow, of course, and we're able to move cows around and make sure that they're doing all right. And then we're able to really hone in on our feed program too, which is important for us because we use a lot of byproducts.
When you talk about sustainability, we're talking about putting the least amount of inputs and getting the most amount of output. And the registered Holstein, without a doubt, has proven that she can do that better than any other bovine on earth. The US registered Holstein is the most efficient in taking the least amount of feed and converting it into the most amount of high quality milk.
The dedication to the registered Holstein cow and the love of dairy farming keeps us all in the perspective of the future generations.
To keep our dairy farm going is certainly a goal. We can do our best with this generation and care for the animals, care for the land, and certainly if that next generation wants to, there's a farm here to keep going.
For more than 150 years, the Finger family has farmed the fertile lands of Wisconsin. Today, generations later, the family has the same pioneering spirit that brought their ancestors here in 1872. In many ways, a steadfast commitment to U.S. registered Holsteins has paved the way to long-term success.
Our farm's name is Finger Family Farm, LLC. My husband Phil and I farm here on his family farm. We are the 5th generation.
We are on the county line border between Oconto and Marinette counties. We are 5 miles from the Bay of Green Bay. Like my wife likes to say, we farm the bogs of the hinterland, and so we do a lot of cover crops and stuff like that, and nutrient management plans, and really do a pretty good job of taking care of our soil and making sure our lakes and our water is clean and healthy for everybody.
My great-grandfather Franz came over from Bohemia, a part of Czechoslovakia, in 1872. You had to be here for 5 years. If you made improvements, you got the land for practically nothing. We got the first registered cows in 1912 from upstate New York. That's what my dad tells me. So we've been 100% registered since the early 60s.
We milk about 530 cows, and we raise all our young stock here. We milk 3 times a day in a double 12 parallel parlor. Our rolling herd average is about 31,600 and 1,460 pounds of fat and 1,036, I believe, of protein. I want a nice strong width of chest and some dairiness, so milk from dairy strength is really important to us in our style. And then obviously pounds of fat and protein. So when a bull has over 100 pounds of fat and 60, 70 pounds of protein, that usually gets me pretty excited. I think the keys that make our herd successful is paying attention to detail. I think our employees do that too, making sure cows always have feed in front of them, that the feed's pushed up, making sure that calves are taken care of right when they're born, making sure that they have high quality colostrum. Registered Holsteins, I just like knowing who mom is, who dad is, who great grandma is, and I think there's some value added absolutely when you're selling cows on the market.
It keeps track of the cow families. It was also for the sale animals. It kept you interested in what you were breeding who to.
Genetics in the Holstein breed itself, I mean, talking about DPR rates and other heifer conception rates and cow conception rates, all that genomics has really helped out with.
It was always a #1 thing. We always had registered animals. My grandfather started and my dad had them, and I stuck with it. I really like registered animals.
It's super rewarding to raise your children on a farm, teaching them responsibility. Dairying, I think, has a bright future, and there's really impressive people out there that create new products, you know, cheese and milk, and I love ice cream. I mean, who doesn't like ice cream? If you don't like ice cream, you have something wrong with you, but if people can keep doing that and always try and be marketable, dairy is going to be successful, I think.
We couldn't afford to do what we're doing if we weren't taking care of the animals, if we weren't doing what was right for the land, for water supply, people that we work with, our communities. It wouldn't flow and it doesn't jive if we're not doing right. I just really want our consumers to know and believe that dairy farmers are really passionate, that we are creating a product that is so wholesome that we are feeding to our families. It's what we're doing, it's how we're growing our children, how we're growing ourselves.
When Holstein America returns, we visit a dairy farm that's generating renewable energy from an unexpected source.
Bovolus Nasalgen 3 offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, PI3, and BRSV. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose Bovolus Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only intranasal that protects against viral and bacterial pneumonia. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
Working with the Holstein Association is ultimately an investment in our future. We know that for us to achieve the goals that we have for our cow herd, that we have to invest in the genetics and the genetic future of our cow herd. We wouldn't be where we're at today in terms of milk production or genetic profile without the help of the Holstein Association.
As a dairy producer, added value means everything to your operation. At Holstein Association USA, we understand value better than anyone. That's why we've developed Holstein Complete, a packaged program that combines all the premium services you count on from Holstein Association USA for one discounted price. This includes registration, membership, mating information, classification, pedigrees, genetic reports and production records, as well as discounts on records processing and genomic testing. Complete your herd today for more profit and convenience. Learn more at holsteinusa.com.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back. It's well known that America's dairy farms produce a wide array of delicious and nutritious products. But do you know the dairy industry also contributes to innovative, sustainable energy sources? We travel next to Clair Dairy in Wisconsin, a family farm that contributes both milk and fuel to their community.
Every day here at Clair is a little bit different. It's It's not just a dairy. We've got a renewable energy piece. We have a cropping enterprise. We have a grain procurement enterprise. There's a lot of moving parts to our business now. And so it takes a highly dedicated team in order to get that job done.
The farm originated with my grandpa. Our prefix is Clair, which originated from my mother and father, Virginia and Clarence. And I vowed that as long as I'm part of the farm or alive, which may be the same, I'm not sure, it will always be Clair. So with that, registered cattle were everything to us, and it still is. When I came home from school, we had 28 cows. That grew into 50 cows in 1971. And for 20 years, we made more income in merchandising registered cattle than we did in milk sales. By 1995, the decision was made to build a 300 cow dairy. And from there, it went to 500 and 700, and now we're at 2,400. It was a process, but a very worthwhile process. And by doing that, it allowed our children to become part of the farm and be partners with us.
The key factors in making our herd successful here is starting with our genetics. We try to choose the bulls that give us the best chance for success. We're trying to build a really balanced cow. We have a little bit of a unique situation here in that we dabble a little bit now with showing cattle. So we kind of have our top 20 or 30 cows sorted out to the top that we use a little different selection of bull. But on the main herd, we're choosing bulls that are going to give us some milk, but even more importantly than that, fat and protein. We also have to have a sound cow walking on a great set of feet and legs and gives us some strength to be able to make it all come together.
And last count, I think we had 36 excellent cows. And I know if my father is looking down, he'd be very proud of the fact that there's that many excellent cows in our herd.
It's been something that my dad's dad instilled in him and my dad instilled in me, and we really feel pride when we say we have registered cattle.
We are concerned about the environment. We are concerned about neighbor relations, and what can we do as a dairy in order to provide a renewable energy source for America. Clair's been involved in renewable energy since 2004. We were making kilowatts for a number of years until most recently here. And so we would make power for between 600 and 800 homes every day, where we'd sell those kilowatts back through the utility on the grid and use locally here within our neighborhood. And so as times have changed, we had to change as well. And so we just embarked with a partnership with another group in order to create a natural gas plant here, where we're taking that methane gas from the digesters, cleaning it, scrubbing it, and bringing it up to pipeline quality to where it's injected into the pipeline. So instead of selling kilowatts today, we're actually selling transportation fuel. And we're able to produce enough gas on a gasoline equivalent to about 1,000 cars each year. You know, it kind of goes within our tagline, producing milk and power for America. And whether that power comes from kilowatts or it comes from renewable natural gas, it's still power and BTUs no matter what.
Whenever we're making a decision here at the farm, we always come back to, is it best for the cows? That is always our number one, question when we're making a decision. Is it best for the cows? That's important that people know how much care and respect we do have for our animals.
I think if there's anything that's really important is the knowledge to our consumer that dairies are producing really high quality milk. We specialize. The guys in the barn are not out in the field, and the guys in the field are not expected to be in the barn. So the guys in the barn put their time and effort into producing a quality milk product, and that's high on their priority list.
I think, the enjoyment that I have is the interaction that we have within our staff and the great people that we have here at Clair that keeps our process going every day of making high quality milk.
A short drive from Seattle, the Heartzel family has been raising registered Holsteins for a century. They embody the benefits provided by Holstein Association USA, raising high-quality animals with proven pedigrees, powerful data, and information. That's why they're members and why their herd is one of the best in the Northwest.
I'm a first-generation dairy farmer, so I started when I was 9 years old with my first Holstein calf, and I was totally hooked. I didn't start 4-H until I was 11 and then went into FFA, so I at that time really got into showing and so on. As soon as I was considered a Holstein Association member, in about 1963, I came up with my prefix, Skyheart, part of that being because we were close to the Skycomish River, and then part of it being our last name. That's where that originated.
He started milking cows when he was like 12 years old. He was on test and shipping to Dairy Gold before he was out of high school. My great-grandfather was an immigrant from Germany, and he moved first to Ohio, and then he came out to the Monroe area right after 1900, and he bought this farm. He remembered the beautiful black and white cows from his home country, and he wanted Holsteins. He took the ferry across to the Olympic Peninsula where there was a registered Holstein breeder there, and he bought 3 heifers and a bull, and that was his start in registered Holsteins. And then my dad came along and he continued the farm, and that's how I ended up here.
Eileen is probably the reason that we are where we are right now. Her family's history goes way back on this particular farm, and we had the opportunity to come here about 4 years ago. She's my partner in the parlor, at the desk. Yeah, couldn't do it without her.
My name is Maggie Bright, and I'm a neighbor of the Heartzels. I live about a mile down the road and enjoy coming down here as much as I can in my free time. And I'm a relief milker when they need me and helping out whenever I can. I think the biggest lesson I've learned is just how to work hard. They are truly the hardest working people I have ever met. Day in and day out, they're out here. They prioritize their animals, which is something I admire so much. Animal care and health comes before everything. You know, it comes before their own. I will always be involved with dairy. I'm not sure in what capacity that is, but to me, there's something so incredible about working with people who truly feed the nation. I mean, it's providing such a service to the world. Farmers are someone that I just have so much respect and admiration for, and dairy farmers specifically.
I mean, working on the farm is hard work, and it really, I think, sets a foundation for your future. And it's like, it doesn't matter what other lines of business you go into. You know, growing up on a farm where you have to go outside every day, rain or shine, that's what's a part of building that foundation, that growth, that experience.
It was something I grew up doing, and you know, once my daughters got a taste of it, they were on top of it and wanted to do it constantly. They really enjoy going to the shows and seeing all their friends that are also involved in that, and the friends they've made through that, and a lot of different experiences.
It's something I love, and so I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love doing it. I love being here every day. I like the early mornings and late nights of being here and helping out.
Well, I wouldn't be in it if I wasn't in the registered Holstein business. It's why I'm milking cows. I mean, I could go show something else and not have to milk and be here, you know, twice a day, 365 days a year, but it's what I want to do, and it's because of the registered Holstein that I want to do this. Since I was 9 years old, I've been working at this, trying to improve. Without the papers, without the Holstein Association there, it's It's the tool to provide you with all this information. Be able to breed the right cattle.
I think registered Holsteins are just, it's such a mark of quality. It's a badge of honor, and it's something that you really get to see that legacy carry out through the generations. I don't know why anyone wouldn't, have that registered Holstein badge of honor.
If you got the best, why go down? Registered Holsteins are the queen of the dairy industry.
I'm trying to breed a better one every generation. If you're satisfied with where you are, then I think you might as well try something else.
When Holstein America returns, we journey to America's dairyland and visit a farm that's growing with each new generation.
There may be less demanding work, but there's none more rewarding. We get it because we live it, so we know where you're coming from. And with new technology that's changing cattle care for the better, we'll take you where you want to go with the tools to identify and monitor every animal in your herd so you can give treatment that's tailored to each one, helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow. This is why Merck Animal Health works.
What if you could predict her genetic potential right from the start? With genomic testing, you can. Holstein Association USA offers a variety of genetic testing options, including clarified genomic tests. Add them to your package of genetic tools, from registration and tags to classification, mating, and genomic testing. Holstein Association USA has your herd covered. Visit holsteinusa.com to learn more or contact us today.
There is no more marketable asset than the registered Holstein cow. The iconic black and white Holstein is in vogue and has been for years, has been for decades with consumers. She's known worldwide for her production potential. Her longevity is unmatched, and those are the things we need to make our farm viable for the next 100 years.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back to Holstein America. When you enjoy a cold glass of milk, butter on your bread, or take the kids for ice cream, it's because dedicated families raise registered Holsteins. Registered Holstein breeders love that they have a story to tell, one that often traces back more than 100 years. But it's also about the future, because registered Holsteins point a clear path to herd selection, productivity, and profitability.
Since a teenager, I was always interested in registered Holsteins. I went to Holstein sales with my dad, and that was a great experience for me to see what the value of these registered Holsteins and what you can do with the breeding in the next generation, how you can improve them.
The challenge of seeing how you can be the best that you can in producing cattle, producing milk, not just milk, but to produce a very, very good animal. That's always fun and a challenge to do. I felt that we had probably exceeded all the goals that I had ever hoped to do.
Our farm has a long history. My grandparents bought this farm in 1936. My dad was born in 1933, and in the late 40s, he needed calves for 4-H for showing at the fair, so registered Holstein calves were purchased. And I still have a few of those old papers yet.
We've been living in this area for 80 years. I'm in the house I grew up in, I was born in, so we're kind of open door policy if anybody has any questions or wants to tour the dairy. I think what excites me is about the genomic advancement the last 5 or 10 years. There is so many options out there that if you want to breed high-type cows, there's plenty of high-type bulls. If you want to breed medium stature, longevity, high productivity cows, there's a lot out there. If you want to concentrate on feed efficiency, There's a lot of different bulls out there, and combined fat and protein is what usually pays the bills, and that's been important for a long time, and I think that's going to be increasingly more important as time goes on, considering probably 95% of the milk produced in Wisconsin goes into the cheese-making industry.
Probably the most rewarding thing about this whole thing is that through the help of the boys, I was able to build an operation that they felt that they would like to take over, that they felt, and they did, and that's probably the most rewarding aspect of being in the business of farming, that the next generation will continue what you've been doing and to expand on it, and this has happened, so what more can you ask?
Family is really what keeps us going with our farming operation, because you see the future and you want that future for them, because that's what they want to do. We have two sons. We have David, who's in Minnesota, and Andrew is on the farm with us, and he became deaf at the age of 20 months. So we did have him have a cochlear implant so that he could hear some sounds. And he has just always grown up with a passion for the Holstein industry.
The key to our success is being able to adapt to whatever times we are in. I think it's every farmer's dream to have a child be part of the farm, to see your own children doing what you love to do. It's just makes it wake up in the morning, something you look forward to, working with your kids, working with family. It's just what farming is all about.
My dad's taught me a lot about feeding cows, about cleaning out heifer barns, and about dairy judging and showing animals. After high school, I plan on going to college, and then I want to come back here and work full time.
So Miles is really following along YouTubers as far as what farming looks like in social media and what he wants to attribute to the future of the farm. Since Miles is little, he's always wanted to ride with Andrew in the payloader and then eventually learn how to drive the payloader. So just seeing that progression has been great, and it's his dream. There's nothing else he talks about wanting to do, so.
Being I survived this long, it's a tremendous thing that until you experience it, because I not only seen my kids grow up, seen their grandkids grow up, and now their great-grandkids, and the beauty part of it is every one of the families have made such a success of themselves that just can't help but be proud of them.
An important way Holstein Association USA provides unrivaled information for its members and the dairy industry is through its classification programs. The organization recently expanded its multi-breed classification program and now offers linear type evaluations for 5 dairy breeds. Bob Cervera has the story.
Holstein Association USA classifiers travel a lot of miles, visiting farms and evaluating dairy cattle in barns across the country. The team is experienced, well-trained, and passionate about what they do.
We've got a great team. Their average tenure is 18 years on the job, so they're true professionals at evaluating dairy cattle. And while their primary focus is Holsteins, most of our classifiers just enjoy looking at cows of all breeds, and they just really enjoy looking at the cows, meeting the farmers, and seeing different operations.
That's Lindsay Warden, Chief Operating Officer for Holstein Association USA. She said the commitment to quality evaluations is why the organization now offers its joint classification services to more dairy cattle breeds. In addition to U.S. registered Holsteins and red and white Holsteins, the association has been classifying Guernsey cattle for the American Guernsey Association since 2018. This summer, milking Shorthorns and Ayrshires joined the lineup. Here's Holstein Association USA CEO John Meyer.
The more things we could do together, the better. And one of these things is joint classification.
You know, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have different people going down the same country roads to classify 4 or 5 different breeds of cattle. And today, so many different farms have more than one breed of cattle. So the Ayrshire folks and milking shorthorn people are very excited about this opportunity, and we are too, and hope to continue this and do more breeds all the time as time goes on.
The goal is to make classification more accessible for all breeds of cattle and offer farmers information they need to drive progress within the herd. American Milking Shorthorn Society President Marcia Clark.
As small breeds, we're all going to have to unite and work as one. Calling upon Holstein, that will help us save money, get more animals classified, and be able to know that we all can strive for the same goals at the end of having animals classified and registered.
Holstein Association USA classifiers attend annual trainings where they receive comprehensive education on evaluation criteria for all breeds. The classification team began its first tour with milking shorthorns in May and with Ayrshires in June.
It allows us to operate efficiently for the breed associations, efficient for the farm, and we're just really excited to have the opportunity to provide this service for these new breeds.
All totaled, Holstein Association USA provides classification services for 5 dairy cattle breeds. Learn more by visiting HolsteinUSA.com. For Holstein America, I'm Bob Cervera.
Enjoy a cold glass of milk today, courtesy of America's registered Holstein breeders. Holstein America will be right back.
Bovolus Nasalgen 3 offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, PI3, and BRSV. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose Bovolus Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only intranasal that protects against viral and bacterial pneumonia. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
I'm excited to work with Holstein Marketplace because it's an opportunity for us breeders to have our genetics out there in a different way. It's a program meant for the Holstein breeders and the people that are part of the Holstein Association. So you're supporting other farmers. You know, the money's going back to the breeder that bred the bull. It's coming back to the Holstein Association that can make this all happen.
As a dairy producer, added value means everything to your operation. At Holstein Association USA, we understand value better than anyone. That's why we've developed Holstein Complete, a packaged program that combines all the premium services you count on from Holstein Association USA for one discounted price. This includes registration, membership, mating information, classification, pedigrees, genetic reports and production records, as well as discounts on records processing and genomic testing. Complete your herd today for more profit and convenience. Learn more at HolsteinUSA.com.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back. Door County, Wisconsin is one of the most scenic regions in the country. It's also home to the Vander Tha family, who are turning over the reins of their dairy farm to the next generation. Their decision embodies the highest hope in agriculture, to build a brighter tomorrow, and many of their dreams are rooted around U.S. registered Holsteins.
Well, we're located right between the Bay of Green Bay, which is 5 miles to the west of us, and Lake Michigan, 10 miles to the east of us. We don't get the real hot weather, maybe for a little bit, but we normally cool off pretty much. For us, it's just a nice place to raise a family. Basically, we're about 6 generations with Austin in this area. My dad farmed with his grandfather and got into milking cows and really liked that part of it.
Well, my grandpa started the farm where it's currently at. He had his first milk check and it wasn't as much as his feed cost, and he knew something had to change. So that's when he ended up getting into registered Holsteins.
I came to the farm in 1987 when I married Dan. We bought it at that time from his parents, and now we're in the process of turning it over to us.
I remember a day we were cutting hay right here in Brussels, and a new highway was going through. They were moving the highways from a half-mile north of us to a half-mile south of us, and cutting up a piece of our farmland, and there were going to be a lot of people moving in and buying property, and I told them the hayfield up against the town of Brussels was probably going to end up being homes one day. It didn't take him long, and he looked at me and he says, "Where am I going to make hay for my cows? We can't sell the land." I probably knew about that day that he was going to end up back on the farm.
But he's just kind of always been into the cows and the breeding and liking the dairying part of it. I don't think he ever thought about doing anything else. We did tell him it was going to be tough. It's not an easy way to go, but he wants to bring his kids up the way he was brought up.
So about 4 years ago, we had some events that happened on the farm that led us to have to invest in some of the infrastructure on the farm. At that point, I was learning about robotic milking, robotic farms in college, and thought, well, might as well keep all of our options open, whether it's parlor, staying where we're at, or putting robots in. I sat down with a couple different builders, brands of robots, worked through pricing and building a barn that incorporates cow comfort and how we can build on what we're doing here. Ideally, it's going to be a 2-robot setup. I'm going to have my dry cows and springing heifers in the same robotic barn as well. There'll be a bedding pack for the younger animals moving up to free stalls, and then a new manure system as well.
We're very proud of him. He really has put his mind to it. He's thought a lot of things through. He doesn't do anything fast or rash. He thinks it through.
I think he enjoys the genetics even more than I do. He spends a lot of time looking over pedigrees and different bulls, which is good.
In the past 2 years, we've raised our rolling herd average about 2,000 pounds. Our RHA is 34,000, about 1,350 pounds of fat and about 1,100 pounds of protein. Classification-wise, we've had 4 94-point cows in the last 5 years. I haven't quite got that 95-point cow yet. That's definitely a goal of ours. I don't believe Door County has had a homebred 95-point cow yet, so one day I'm hoping to be the first.
The thing I like the most about the dairying part is, 1, I get to work with my family. 2, the registered Holstein part of it, I get to see improvement in the cows. Well, I go into a lot of other farms. I see where there's milk is the only income, they're not into registered. And I see the improvements we made and a little extra income that helps us stay at 40 cows. To me, registered is the way to go. We have cows hitting 10 and 12 pounds of fat and protein a day. Holstein's the way to go because I don't know another breed of cow that can do that on a whole herd. Where we came from 40 years ago when I started, if we could have predicted where we'd be now, nobody would even guess. But the excitement of having the next generation and maybe the next 2 generations on the farm, that's kind of what it's all about. If you're willing to work hard, there's not a better life, really.
Holstein America is made possible by support from Merck Animal Health. Here's a word from our sponsor.
The farm started in 1858. When we took over from our parents, there was only 100 cows. Over the years, we just started growing and it just kind of multiplied into what it is now. We currently have 2,350 cows. There's another 1,800 heifers, and we choose to register. It helps to keep track of the pedigrees and to know what's behind each animal. It takes good genetics. You have to have a good sound animal that has the genetics to milk also to help better the herd in the future and down the road. I believe animal health is the utmost priority. A healthy, happy animal will produce. She will live a long time and she will be very profitable. I've been using Merck products for a long time, but the last 5 years is when I probably started using more. It's been incredibly beneficial what they provide. They have some very good products that are economically feasible, that do a very good job at what they're intended for. The health end of it has really just taken off, and where it really pays for itself fast. When I decide to use a product, I sit down with my rep and also with my vet and talk over the best strategy of how to use it. We've had great results. Obviously, the best thing to do is prevent, which is where some of your vaccines and that come in. But if you can catch something that they may be coming down with, the sooner you can catch it with the products that Merck has, helps to treat some of the issues they may have, to help them get through them faster and become healthier quicker. So I'm currently using the Sense Hub. We have been using it now for 9 years, had great success with it, because it's like another person walking around here, at least one other person, walking around here 24 hours a day, constantly monitoring the cows. The collars and with the products, I believe that the two work together in correlation to help make the animals healthier and be more profitable. Over the course of the collars being on for roughly 3 months, we noticed a 10-pound increase in our week 4 milk. It ultimately paid for itself in 13 months. Just gives you a sense of pride, to see stuff work well. Hopefully it can get handed down to the next generation. It can go on for generations to come.
When Holstein America returns, we visit the Bred family of Wisconsin, where multi-generational success begins with registered Holsteins.
There may be less demanding work, but there's none more rewarding. We get it because we live it, so we know where you're coming from. And with new technology that's changing cattle care for the better, we'll take you where you want to go, with the tools to identify and monitor every animal in your herd, so you can give treatment that's tailored to each one, helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow. This is why Merck Animal Health works.
Holsteins are the gold standard breed for the dairy industry. They are high producing, economically viable. They fit the sustainability needs that we are looking for in high production animals. The breadth of genetic possibilities are broader than any other breed, so we're really happy to have the herd of cows that we have here.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back. Imagine running a business for more than 100 years, and just think about all the changes during that time. Now consider this. The Bred family of Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin is celebrating nearly 120 years in the dairy business, and a new generation is taking hold. Their herd of registered Holsteins produces high-quality milk and locally raised beef for their neighbors. And it's all centered around the family-run dairy.
I think that it is super awesome that I get to work with all of my family every day because I love my family. So I think I want to be a dairy farmer. One of the fun parts about the job is that you're always learning. There's never like a way to do it. There's always different ways. So you can go with one thing and then if it didn't work, you can try something new and then that works and yeah.
As a parent, it's exciting to see whatever your kids are interested in, and whether it be sports or music or the dairy industry. So yeah, it certainly makes it more fun to see them enjoy it as well. My brother and I and our families are the 4th generation. The farm was started in 1903. Our parents, Bill and Clarice, started with registered Holsteins kind of in the mid-1970s and built up their registered herd from their first purchase.
The registered Holstein is, frankly, it's the reason that I farm.
It's the reason that probably my brother farms as well. My brother and I bought the farm from our parents about 7 years ago. It's fun to have a partner that we can bounce ideas off of each other. You know, at the end of the day, we always have the same goals in mind, so it's very rewarding.
You know, we're all working hard and we're all in it together, and it's been really good. It's definitely like a full-on partnership.
I graduated from UW-Madison in 2007 and came home to the family farm. At that time we had about 100 cows, and we've gradually grown. We're just over 1,000 milking cows right now.
We're located in northeast Wisconsin on the Door Peninsula, just south of Sturgeon Bay. To most, this is known as kind of a tourist hotbed. Door County actually has the most shoreline of any county in the whole United States, but Door County also sits on what's called karst topography, so we have shallow bedrock, a lot of limestone, so we really have to be cognizant of when we're applying our nutrients to our fields. That water quality is one of the top priorities. That's something that kind of helped us grow our farm as well with our conservation practices and cover cropping. We grow a lot of triticale and rye in a double crop system that we no-till after corn silage, and then we in turn feed that in the springtime to our cows and our milking diets. The Holstein cow, with her genetic capabilities, is capable of producing 90 to 100 pounds of milk pretty easily every single day, and along with that, 10 pounds of solids. So feeding a high forage diet, a Holstein cow can really generate a lot of profitability and income feeding homegrown feeds.
There's a lot of little things that go into a well-managed dairy. We're all trying to give the animals their best care possible so that they're good for us and they provide a wholesome product for our consumers as well. Our breeding goals are to produce a long-lasting, profitable cow, but is also trouble-free, produces a lot of combined fat and protein with great components, and those are all things that draw us to registered Holsteins, and the Holstein breed is that ability to produce a tremendous amount of total components.
One of the main tools that we utilize now is the genetic indexes. On a day-to-day basis, that's probably the tool that I use from Holstein Association the most. Just having all that information at your fingertips is really, really powerful and valuable.
Well, we really believe in the strong genetics of the registered Holsteins, so we do embryo transfer and use sex semen and kind of focus our breeding program to make more of our highest genetic animals that we know will produce longer lived cows and more profit, more herd life, that will reduce our herd turnover and give us the option of either continuing to grow our herd or sell surplus cattle. Certainly for Holstein breeders, the beef income is a large income stream, especially this year where the beef price is high and the milk price is not as high. We can't take for granted the cull value of our cows when we have to sell them, and also the calf price. So we use both Angus and Sim Angus bulls on our lower end genetic animals, and we both raise some of those beef and sell some of those as calves to recoup a greater value in those beef cross calves versus just a straight Holstein bull calf.
We started Bred Family Beef in 2020. This will be our third season. The animals are raised on our farm, and when they are ready to be harvested, they go to a little mom and pop shop down the road. It's about 6 miles away, and that's where they're harvested. And then either people can pick up a quarter or half that they've purchased from there, or they come back to our on-farm store. So it really is farm to table. And it's just been a really great way to connect with the community. Our burgers kind of have become a staple at a lot of picnics, and that allows us to give back and have a product to give back.
The registered Holstein cow provides for so many people. So what I'm excited most about the future of the dairy industry would be the potential for growth. There's going to be a huge demand for dairy products going forward. Everybody loves cheese, everybody loves ice cream, everybody loves yogurt, and I think that the dairy industry, especially in the United States, is setting itself up, to be able to export a lot of those products to other parts of the world that are growing, that have a big appetite for those proteins. So, just growing and feeding the world going forward, right? Everybody needs farmers, and there's only less and less of us. So our kids are starting to show interest in the farms. That's a lot of fun. And we're looking forward to the future with registered Holsteins as the focal point of our operation.
I think dairy farming is a good job because you get to meet new people and see new things.
We're excited to learn. There's more technology, there's more information that continues to come about in the dairy industry, so we're excited about the future ahead of us.
Since 2018, Holstein America has shared the stories of America's registered Holstein breeders to a worldwide audience. It's the only nationally televised program devoted exclusively to the dairy community. We are so honored that this program received an award for Best Documentary at the 2023 Ag Media Summit. That wouldn't have been possible without you, our audience, and the dozens of farms that we featured on the show. On behalf of America's registered Holstein breeders, enjoy a cold glass of milk. It'll do your body good.